You cannot depend on any particular section of the people for all time to keep your town clean. Please do not depend for essential requisites on a particular section of the people. We must give up the notion that for platform purposes and for literature we abolish caste, but for essential requisites we maintain caste. All people must be prepared to do all work. That is the teaching of religion. That is the teaching of wisdom. Unpleasant labor will become more and more costly. The popularity of a hospital is the measure of the sickness in the countryside. No words are adequate to express our gratitude for the untiring and unostentatious services of religious bodies who are not satisfied with singing hymns or with uttering formulae of religion, but to get down to work among the people in the manner in which some religious organizations have worked in Assam. Government is just one department of life, but a very necessary department. If there is not a good government, all other departments of social service become impossible. In that sense, government is one essential organization, but no more than that. There is no work in the world which pays itself with joy and satisfaction like nursing. Woman is born to nurse men. The wife is just a nurse with another name. So also the mother is a nurse with another name. The nurse's occupation requires the greatest amount of diplomacy. By nature, woman is endowed with that talent. I would add that no cure works unless there is faith and religion behind that process. After all, cure is not a chemical operation. It is intimately connected with the mind. I am not one of those who believe that faith alone can cure. We want doctors and surgical instruments and chloroform and medicines, but without faith and without religion and without godliness, it is very difficult to cure. God's gift to children is hope and joy. Our wealth consists in our character. All human progress depends on the balance we maintain between opposing forces. We have to maintain balance in everything. Not even talent is so important as character. The Brahmin in my part of the country feels the nausea if he is asked to eat meat, however nicely cooked. Similarly, we must feel a nausea against our temptation to be dishonest or to be unfair. Right judgment will have to be exercised by the adult population of India in the times to come. If we go wrong, we shall ruin ourselves. 50 years is a stage in life when hard work begins. Some people seek to misinterpret the Gita so as to find justification in its teaching for crimes and violence. They concentrate on the battle scene. Their favorite chapter is the preliminary chapter, and those people extract from Sri Krishna's teaching the doctrine of killing without compunction. There can be no greater error than this. Swadharma is a hard and more often than not a difficult path involving great sacrifice and courage. Evil is inescapable to mundane action. In whatever way men approach me, even so do I bless them for whatever the paths that men may take in worship. They come unto me. Whosoever the devotee and whatever the form worshipped with sincere faith, I bestow on him that firm faith. He filled that faith, worships such form, he obtains his desires. I verily decreeing them. There is another teaching in the Bhagavad Gita which is of very great importance. All kinds of work for the good of the society are equally noble. They amount to worship of God if done in the right spirit. Man reaches proper fulfillment by each being intent on his own work. Let me tell you how the goal is attained by him who is intent on his own work. The performance of one's own work is worship of Him from whom have emanated all beings and by whom all this is pervaded, and by such worship a man attains the goal. Better is one's own duty, though unhonored, than the work of another even if well performed. He who does the work indicated by his own nature incurs no sin. The work to which you are born, though involving defects, ought not to be abandoned. All undertakings indeed are clouded by defects as fire by smoke. True reverence to this Gita lies in daily sincere reflection over its substance and shaping mind and action accordingly. Do not take your work as if it were merely a job. You have in your heart the natural social urge which all human beings must have. We must find practical wisdom as well as scholastic philosophy in the scriptures that we read. When we get a thing after a long period of waiting, we are likely to exaggerate its importance. The body improves under exercises, and similarly, your heart, mind, and soul improve by practicing charity. Whatever be your position in life, it is more difficult to give time and serve than to give money. Every new enterprise and fulfilled aspiration carries with it responsibilities. But unless we work hard, consciously and with devotion in our hearts, not merely ambition but devotion to our objective, we will not succeed. All high enterprises require devotion. Devotion to responsibility is a form of piety. Devotion is worship. There is no reason why the better off classes should not set an example to others. I generally do not give a certificate too easily. All of us inherit by right of birth some qualities which are generally attributed to our own exertions. Most often, if you examine the matter, you will find that much of the virtue which people exhibit is traceable to their inheritance. You should learn in India to synthesize our inherited culture with our modern political adventure. The gentleness of approach is the vital difference between woman's work and man's endeavor. We men know how much we are governed by our wives. It is very easy to attain a position of strength and importance. You have to maintain it. Because a lady is well dressed, clean and tidy, do not think she does not work. On the contrary, I know from experience that even well dressed ladies work remarkably hard. The concern of universities has been defined by an eminent authority to be the discovery and passing on of knowledge. The functions of institutions, like the duties of individuals, vary with the times and the place and the sum total of the context in which the institutions function.